In Eufaula, a family's sudden disappearance sent ripples of mystery and concern. The Jamison family vanished, leaving no clues behind. Days later, their truck was discovered in the mountains, a startling scene with over $32,000 in cash and their starving dog inside. As investigators delved deeper, the case grew more complex and puzzling. What really happened to the Jamison family? We're taking a closer look at this baffling case from Oklahoma in October 2009. Settle in and join me as we dive into the enigmatic circumstances surrounding the Jamison family's disappearance. In October 2009, the Jamison family from Eufaula, Oklahoma, embarked on a life-changing journey. Bobby, 44, his wife Sherilyn, 40, and their 6-year-old daughter Madison were known for their free-spirited nature. Despite being content in Eufaula, they yearned for a simpler life and planned to move to the mountains, living in a shipping container on 40 acres of land. This decision, seemingly impromptu and not previously discussed with friends or family, marked a significant shift in their lifestyle. On October 8, 2009, the Jamisons packed their truck to visit a landowner from whom they intended to buy a plot of land in the mountains. This trip was the last time anyone saw them. Initially, their absence didn't raise alarms, but concern grew after a few days. 8 days later, on October 16th, their truck was discovered by the local Latimer County Sheriff about 30 miles northeast of Eufaula, near the land they were interested in. The circumstances surrounding the abandoned truck were peculiar. It was locked, and inside, authorities found Bobby's wallet, Sherilyn's purse, the family's GPS, their mobile phone, over $32,000 in cash, and their severely malnourished dog, Maisie. The discovery of such a substantial amount of money was particularly baffling, as Bobby and Sherilyn were unemployed and living off disability checks at the time. The truck showed no signs of forced entry, but was oddly positioned. Most hauntingly, the mobile phone contained a photo of Madison, taken not far from where the truck was found, using the phone's GPS, looking quite distressed. This mysterious photo left open the question of whether it was taken by a member of the Jamison family or someone else, and it also raised concerns about why Madison looked unhappy. The day after the truck was found, a search operation with over 400 volunteers scoured the area by land and air, but they found nothing. Latimer County Sheriff Israel Bosham stated, "There did not appear to be any signs that the Jamisons were in trouble or looking to start a new life." As the investigation into the Jamison family's disappearance progressed, Sheriff Bosham and his team uncovered multiple potential scenarios, each adding complexity to the case. The sheriff noted that unlike typical missing persons cases, which usually begin with many theories and narrow down to a few, the Jamison family case was the opposite. Despite extensive search efforts, no conclusive evidence or leads were found, and the case gradually went cold. The onset of hunting season in November in the mountains further complicated the search. For over 4 years, the disappearance of the Jamison family remained a mystery, with no new information or evidence coming to light. However, a significant breakthrough occurred on November 16, 2013, when the case took an unexpected turn. In the Sands Boys mountain region, 2 hunters made a grim discovery: the deteriorated remains of 3 bodies. Positioned side by side in an execution-style line, the remains were suspected to be those of the Jamison family. Forensic analysis eventually confirmed this, identifying the bodies as the 2 adults and child of the Jamison family found not far from their truck, just 3 miles to the north. Among the remains, authorities found shoes, clothing, adult teeth, and bone fragments. However, the cause and manner of their deaths remained undetermined due to the advanced state of decay. Notably, a small hole was found in the back of Bobby Jamison's skull. While this could suggest a bullet wound, it's also possible that it resulted from wildlife activity over the 4 years the bodies were exposed in the mountains. The deaths were officially recorded as occurring under suspicious circumstances, a fitting designation given the mysterious nature of the case. Yet even with this discovery, further clues failed to provide a clear understanding of what happened. In the Jamison family case, a puzzling piece of evidence was their home surveillance footage, recorded the day before they embarked on their fateful journey. This footage showed Bobby and Sherilyn Jamison loading their truck numerous times, around 25 times, which some might consider excessive. Latimer County Sheriff Israel Beauchamp noted in an interview that the couple appeared trance-like while loading the truck, a description echoed by many who have reviewed the case. Additionally, the quality of the surveillance footage was quite poor, leading many to believe that it doesn't offer any significant clues. However, it does capture a brown briefcase and a .22 caliber pistol that belonged to Sherilyn. Both items were loaded into the truck, but were not found when the sheriff discovered the abandoned vehicle. Thus, the case continued to deepen with each investigative turn, revealing several theories. The initial hypothesis suggests that the Jamison family embarked on a mountain hike but lost their way, eventually succumbing to exposure and hypothermia over the subsequent days. However, it's difficult to endorse this theory for several reasons. First, historical weather records indicate that the temperature never fell below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, even during the nighttime. Additionally, while the area did experience some rainfall, it was not excessively heavy. Furthermore, the family had covered a mere 3-mile distance before their demise. It's implausible that a group of healthy individuals would perish under such conditions within such a short trek. It's also noteworthy that they left behind numerous belongings in their vehicle. Mobile phones and GPS devices, essential tools for hiking, were left behind, as was their family dog, Maisie. Perhaps even more perplexing, a substantial sum of over $32,000 was discovered in the car. It's baffling to think that anyone would leave such a significant amount of money unattended in their vehicle during a simple walk. Thus, this theory seems to be far from realistic and more in the realm of possibility. Let's delve into the second theory, which raises the possibility of a homicide-suicide involving one or both members of the Jamison family. Letters penned by Sherilyn were discovered in one of the bags in their truck. These letters were directed at her husband, accusing him of various shortcomings, labeling him a slob and a recluse. The depth of her frustration is evident as these letters spanned a substantial 11 pages. It's clear that there was tension within their relationship. Additionally, Sherilyn had a documented history of mental health issues, specifically being diagnosed with bipolar disorder. Bipolar disorder can lead to extreme mood swings, ranging from euphoria to depression. Given this diagnosis, one might wonder if Sherilyn could have been driven to harm her husband and daughter before taking her own life. However, there are significant counterarguments to this theory. Sherilyn's mother, Connie, refuted the idea that they would harm their daughter, emphasizing that they were good parents who never posed a threat to their child. While the couple did have occasional arguments, Connie, who had lived with them for a time, observed no alarming signs during her stay. Moreover, their trip into the mountains was reportedly intended for future planning. It seems improbable that they would abruptly end their lives when they were actively discussing and planning for their future together. However, it is worth noting that both Bobby and Sherilyn had an interest in the macabre and the paranormal, with a particular fascination for witchcraft. A witchcraft book belonging to Sherilyn was discovered in the truck. Additionally, their property in Eufaula bore threatening witchcraft graffiti, which Sherilyn had apparently inscribed due to concerns about their neighbors allegedly poisoning cats. Local pastor Gary Brandon also claimed that Bobby had confessed to reading the Satanic Bible and expressed a belief in the presence of 4 ghosts in their home. Bobby had even inquired about special bullets to eliminate these supernatural entities. Now, let's explore the third theory, which points to Bobby's father, Bob Dean, as a potential suspect in the Jamison family's disappearance. Notably, just 6 months before the Jamisons vanished, Bobby had sought a protective order against his own father. Bob Dean had allegedly made death threats against them on 2 separate occasions, indicating a significant level of animosity between the two. Bobby had worked without compensation for several years at his father's gas station, with the promise of eventually becoming a half owner of the business. This promise, however, remained unfulfilled, causing mounting frustration and anger in Bobby, ultimately leading to a breakdown in their relationship. However, during the period when the Jamison family went missing, Bob Dean was actually hospitalized. Furthermore, he passed away 2 months later in December 2009. Bob's brother, Jack Jamison, has expressed doubts about Bob's mental and physical capabilities to commit such a heinous act, especially during his hospitalization. Unfortunately, Bob's passing in 2009 means we can never directly question him about the events in question. Interestingly, Connie, despite suspecting foul play in her son's disappearance, does not believe that Bob Dean was responsible for the tragic fate of the Jamison family. Theory 4 suggests that the Jamison family may have fallen victim to a cult, which initially may sound far-fetched, but upon closer examination seems plausible. Although cults may not be as overt as they were in past decades, they still exist in the United States, with some even operating in the Oklahoma area, including the United White Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. Connie has made claims that a local cult had a hit list with Sherilyn's name on it. She received an anonymous phone call from a woman shortly after the family's disappearance, who revealed she had been part of a white supremacist group that maintained a murder book. This ominous book allegedly contained Sherilyn's name, along with others, some of whom remain missing to this day. While the authenticity of these claims can be questioned, it is undeniable that Bobby and Sherilyn had a tenant on their property just weeks before their disappearance. This tenant, Kenneth Bellows, was known to be associated with white supremacist ideologies. After sharing his extremist views and insulting Sherilyn's heritage, she reportedly confronted him by brandishing a firearm and demanding that he vacate the premises immediately. Although Kenneth had a solid alibi during the time the Jamison family vanished, as he was incarcerated, it raises the possibility that he may have enlisted other members of his cult to exact revenge on the family. Our final main theory revolves around the involvement of drugs, which is known to sometimes lead to erratic behavior. This possibility might explain the unusual conduct observed in the surveillance footage captured just a day before the Jamison family's departure. Some speculate that the $32,000 found in their truck may not have been intended for the purchase of land, but rather for a drug-related transaction. Reports to the police indicated that the family had been acting strangely in the days leading up to their disappearance, displaying signs of paranoia consistent with the behavior of methamphetamine users. However, it's crucial to note that there is no concrete evidence to support this claim. Law enforcement never uncovered any drugs, drug-related paraphernalia, or traces of drug use. Furthermore, it seems puzzling to bring a 6-year-old child along to a drug deal. This aspect of the theory raises questions about the plausibility of their involvement in such illicit activities. Moreover, the money found in the truck remained untouched, leaving us to ponder why someone would choose to eliminate the family without taking the substantial amount of cash they had with them. While this theory holds some potential, it raises more questions than it answers. Drug deals certainly can go awry, and the mountainous region is not immune to the presence of meth labs and unsavory individuals. However, the lingering mystery surrounds the unexplained presence of the money in the vehicle and whether there might have been additional funds involved. The disappearance of the Jamison family is an enigma, with many possible explanations still up for debate. However, the peculiar nature of their vanishing points to homicide being involved somehow. The landowner they met with warrants further scrutiny, as the final person confirmed to have interacted with the Jamisons and the owner of the property where they went missing. His actions are suspicious. Specifically, he last spoke to them on October 9th, 2009, a full day after they had departed their home, and his own building was located just 400 meters from where their abandoned truck was eventually found. The sole route off the muddy access road passed right by his building. This raises questions around why he never verified that the Jamisons had safely departed. Additionally, 8 days elapsed before he notified authorities of their still-present vehicle. His minimal cooperation with investigators and overall reluctance to discuss the case also seem questionable. The landowner stated he never saw the Jamisons again after their meeting, nor anyone else traveling to or from the area. But might the family have been carrying more money than the documented $32,000? Since they aimed to purchase a $70,000 property, it's conceivable they had the funds split between cash and a briefcase that went missing from their car per surveillance footage. Perhaps they were transporting the two halves needed to complete the land deal. There is the possibility they were ambushed outside their vehicle while holding the additional money. The Jamisons may have already been under observation as well. For any cult or other party intending harm, it would have been an opportune moment to attack. However, the case may be entirely unrelated to cults, drugs, or their land purchase. Early on, an investigating detective portrayed Bobby and Sherilyn as con artists. When they disappeared, the couple had multiple lawsuits pending against various parties. Bobby's father, 3 individuals from a 2005 car crash, and Madison's former school. Those close to the Jamisons, like Connie, were unsure how the unemployed pair on disability had amassed $32,000. That's a substantial sum for their situation. Perhaps they had defrauded the wrong people, who then sought payback. Regardless of the specific motive, cult, the landowner, or retribution, the bodies were discovered laid out face down in a row, execution style. This points strongly to calculated murder rather than suicide. Those hunters who found the remains even insisted to skeptical police that Bobby appeared to have a small bullet hole in the back of his skull. Murder would also account for the odd state of their abandoned truck. The Jamisons had no plans for their demise that day. Why would they intentionally leave $32,000 in the vehicle and their dog to perish? The exact circumstances around their deaths remain unclear. There are currently no named suspects and no arrests have been made. This case seems destined to stay a mystery, with the full truth never uncovered. Needless to say, I won't be planning any hiking trips in the Oklahoma mountains in the near future.